Alrighty guys, well, this is our travel agent specialist training. I'm going to be going over what you need to know in order to be a travel agent specialist. Anyway, just want to start off with kind of what we're going to do. We're going to go through the process because ultimately you guys are the ones who are running the travel agent process. So what happens is before you really get involved, the properties will be listed with various travel agencies like Luxury Retreats, Hawaii Hideaways, etc. Um, those travel agents on that site will then show our properties to their clients that they're working with. Now, what will happen is at some point those travel agents will send us an inquiry and they'll ask, hey, is this property open for these dates? We actually have created a tool to help our travel partners if you want to take advantage of it. It's okay, you can sit there and just respond to them as per usual, but I did want to make you guys aware of a tool that we have for you so that you don't have to constantly look up to see if these properties are open, because they're going to be bringing you people that where it is actually open. They can actually check on in our system and see if the properties are open or not. Uh, and here's how we do that. We created a site called lgtravelpartner.com. This is the homepage for it. And it has a few tools. First of all, there's a how this works. It shows basically how everything in this system works. It has a bunch of videos. There's the property search tool, which actually allows them to go and look at the calendar to see what's open. And then there's a reservation request where they can kind of give all the details about what they want. They'll explain how much we're getting, etc. So I'll walk through this real quick. So the how this works page has some videos here, which I would suggest you should watch if you have time. They kind of explain to the travel agent how they can log into our system and search for available units, how they can share that the units that are open with their clients, and then how they can finalize the reservation by sending us an official request asking, hey, is this my guest is interested in this property? Is it open? Can I move forward? In order to gain access to the system, they just have to click on this Register Now button, and that will take them to a form that they fill out and they sign, and then that will provide them with a login and password. Because once they are registered, then they can come here to the property search tool, click on it, and then it provides them with where they're supposed to put in their login and password to log in to see what properties are available. It gives them a login to a special area within Resort Pro that only shows travel agent approved units, and it just basically shows them a tape chart that they can use. So that is what this tool is. You don't have to have them use this, but it is very useful. Once a person is ready, they can, they have a particular property they want to ask us about. Well, they can go to this reservation request tool, and the travel agent can put in their name, their company, the guest's last name, the name of the property the client is interested in. And then what they do is they put in the rate per night. So let's say $1,000 per night is what they are charging their client, and then they're going to be taking out of that 10%, which means that we would get a net rate, and that's the important word, net rate of $900. That's how much per night we would be getting on the deal. Okay, so when they submit that, it all comes to us, and it comes to me actually, and I'll forward it on to you. And that's kind of our way of officially getting what the travel agent has submitted and exactly what the details of the deal are, so we can know whether to approve it or not. So anyway, the inquiry comes in from a travel agent. Hopefully, it's coming in for a property that is open. So that way the travel agent took advantage of our system and looked to see if it was open first. A lot of them won't do that though. However, you can always encourage them to do that, but they don't have to. They don't have to use our little travel partner website, but it is nice if they do because it makes it easier on us, and it should be easier on them because they won't waste their time and they can see multiple units that are open. Okay, next, they come in and they will be assigned to a travel agent specialist. There's a filter in Desk.com that puts them in a particular folder. After that, once you get it, your first job once you get an inquiry from a travel agent is to find out the exact details of the deal, what dates they want, what property they want, and exactly how much we're going to be receiving on the deal. That's why that little tool can be so helpful, because it forces them to actually give you the exact details of how much they're charging their client and exactly how much we're going to get on the deal. You don't actually have to have them fill that out, But if you do, if you send them that link and are like, here, just send me over the details and I will make sure that the property is open for your dates, it's a really good way to do it. So if I were doing this myself, what I would do if someone sent me an inquiry in, I would actually come here to this site. I would copy this URL into an email. I would send it to them and say, hey, just fill this out so I have all the details and I'll give you the green light. And then while they're doing that, I run over because you have to get pre-approval from an owner or manager on any property, even ones that are full service. On full service properties, obviously you're going to come to me in Devon because we act on the owner's behalf for full service units. But for all the other units, you will have to go to the owner or manager, make sure it's open, and make sure you know what rate we're going to be paying them. So you make sure that if we're collecting 900, make sure we're not paying the owner, $950, because that we would lose money. You have to make sure that we have the right spread on it, or you have to make sure that we're making money on it, that things are right. Okay. You then, once you're sure that, hey, we got pre-approval, you know all the details of the deal, it's gonna work. So in this case, you know the deal. You've structured it. It's all, you know what's going on. You can give them the green light. Go ahead and move forward. It's been pre-approved. At that point in time, we're just waiting. What we're waiting for is for a indisputable written confirmation that the guest has paid or signed the contract. Okay, and it has to be written. Actually, I'm sorry, this is actually incorrect. It's not just that the guest has paid, it has to be that the guest has actually paid the travel agent. Okay, we might not have received any money that time, that's fine. But we have to get a written confirmation that the travel agent has received funds from the guest. At that point, it's considered a booked reservation. Okay. Now, once it's booked, you book it just like any other reservation, except for you're going to use the travel agent's email as the email address instead of the guest's, because we don't want the notifications going directly to the guest. We want them to going to the guest's agent. Okay. One other thing, the rates and things that you're going to put into Resort Pro the rates that we are collecting. We don't care what they charged the guest. We just care what we're getting, and we want to put that into Resort Pro as if the travel agent was booking it himself. Okay. Next, you fill out a bookings report as per usual. Again, use the travel agent's email address in the bookings report. One last thing I want to make mention of, the hold policy. So a lot of times travel agent will ask for us to put a hold on a property. That is fine. You can put a 48-hour hold on a property. But you can only do that after receiving pre-approval from an owner or manager, meaning that they say, yeah, I'll put a hold on it, because we can't hold the calendar on our end unless they're holding it on their end. Okay, so you do have to get approval on that. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please let me know. There will be a certification test associated with this, so if you need to review any of this, feel free. All right, thanks a lot.